and welcome. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the first project of the Newark Bay Hudson County Extension Improvements Program. I'm Tara Dowdell, president of Tara Dowdell Group. We are a social good PR and marketing agency based right here in the great city of Jersey City. We are a small business working under the program manager, HNTB. First and foremost, we are here to listen. I know that some of you would like a different format. Going to be candid. But I want you to know that every single person in this room that's part of this program management team wants to talk to you one-on-one. If you have concerns, if you have recommendations, that is why we want to talk to you one-on-one, because we don't want to shout at each other. We want to engage in a dialogue with you in a constructive and respectful way. I'm being respectful, and I ask that you be respectful too. Every single one of the people on the stage was available before this presentation, and they will stay here after, and they will hear your concerns. They want to talk to you one-on-one, but we want it to be collaborative, and we want it to be constructive. That's part of the problem, that we don't hear each other. And we want people to hear each other. start over again. So again, as I said, thank you so much. As I said, we are here to listen, but we want to do so in a constructive way. Yelling back and forth is not constructive, and we're not going to participate in that manner. We're going to be respectful. We could all use a little bit more respect. So as I was saying, the people here on this stage have taken the time to be here tonight because they want to be transparent. We built a website where you can comment on the program, on the first project. You can submit comments, questions. There are QR codes around the room that you can scan. You can voice your concerns. The other thing that I want to make sure everybody is aware of, and part of why we had this meeting tonight, although it is not the Turnpike's process, it's the U.S. Coast Guard's process, there is an environmental assessment, and the public comment period for that environmental assessment ends on July 13th. And so we want you to comment on that environmental assessment. Most importantly, we want you to read the environmental assessment. And so it's available on the website, and you can comment on the environmental assessment. Now, with respect to the rest of the program, I just want to ask if there are people who need interpretation services. There are interpreters available in the room behind me, in the hallway to the right. So if you need those services, they are available. We have the program fact sheets available in multiple languages, so you can access them as well. During this presentation, we may not answer all of your questions, and again, that's why folks are around the room to do so. This is an open house. And so we will cover a lot of information during this presentation, and a lot of it will be technical. But that's because we want you to have as much information as possible. As soon as the presentation is over, I'll repeat myself. Everyone on this stage, as well as the people you see at these boards, will be available to talk to you one-on-one and answer your questions and hear your concerns. Lastly, this is the third public information center, but we've held dozens of stakeholder meetings and will continue to do so. Community outreach is a major priority, and it will be ongoing throughout the entire program. So if we didn't want to hear concerns, we wouldn't do community outreach throughout the entire program. The program's website is listed as I mentioned, so feel free to access it. Now for the presentation. It is my pleasure to introduce Lisa Navarro, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Program Manager for this critical safety and modernization program. Lisa was selected to lead this program due to her success as a Deputy Project Manager for the interchanges 6 to 9 widening, which she delivered on time and under budget. The interchanges 6 to 9 widening relieved a major traffic bottleneck and congestion. You can take that route for yourself and see for yourself. Lisa is the first person to lead a program of this magnitude in the state of New Jersey and for the New Jersey Turnpike Authority. But most importantly, she is committed to equity and learning from the past. Lisa Navarro.
Thank you. Thank you, Tara, for your kind words. It's a privilege to work with you. Welcome, and thank you for taking time to attend our Public Information Center here tonight on the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Newark Bay Hudson County Extension Improvements Program, a critical and future-forward modernization and safety program. I'm Lisa Navarro, a supervising engineer at the New Jersey Turnpike Authority and the program manager for this urgently needed project. Tonight we will share the latest information with you about the overall program, but we will focus primarily on the highest priority project, which is the reconstruction between Interchange 14 in Newark and Interchange 14A in Jersey City and Bayonne. I also want to speak to you personally and directly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying if you do have concerns. There is a lot of misinformation out there about the program, so I urge you to listen to this presentation and so you can hear the facts. While the Public Information Center is specifically for the first project, Interchange 14 to 14A, we know some of you are interested in the details of the Newark Bay Hudson County Extension Improvements Program further to the east. Please know there are no plans to add additional capacity from interchange 14C to Jersey Avenue, and construction of any of the program improvements east of the Project 1 are not scheduled to begin until the 2030s. Rest assured, we will have public meetings like this for those future projects, and public information centers like this will occur well before construction, just like tonight, so we can get your input. I also want you to hear directly from me that we are here to listen. My goal is to learn from the past and to do better. So please speak to me and my team after the presentation. Share your ideas, your recommendations, and your concerns. And I also hope through our discussions that your concerns can be alleviated based on the thorough planning that we have done to date. Now I want to introduce the New Jersey Turnpike Authority Engineering Department staff that is with me here tonight. First, my supervisor, Lamise Malik. Senior Supervising Engineer, Structures Design, Bill Wilson. For Preliminary Engineering, Project Engineer, Lou Ding. Supported by Assistant Engineer, Rose Navarre. And finally, for Final Design, Project Engineer, Ann Sinagra. Now let's get to the presentation. After the construction of the Turnpike Main Line, Hudson County began advocating for a bridge spanning Newark Bay. As the media coverage in the 1950s shows, local elected leaders of Hudson County fought hard for the extension so that Hudson County residents were not cut off from the economic opportunities that the Turnpike offered. Today, nearly 70 years later, families and workers still rely on the extension to get them where they need to be. Their jobs at the ports, their children's activities, visits with family, and so much more. But the reality is that the extension is at the end of its life. And it's our responsibility as the New Jersey Turnpike Authority to address it before something goes wrong. Safety and reducing traffic congestion and its negative impacts on drivers, communities, and the environment are our top priorities, which is why we are undertaking a critical modernization and safety program to rebuild the North Bay Hudson County Extension. The North Bay Hudson County Extension Improvements Program consists of 8.1 miles of critical transportation infrastructure from interchange 14 in Newark to Jersey Ave in Jersey City. This corridor is vital to the local economy as well as the state economy. The extension provides needed access to local communities, the ports and marine terminals, Newark Liberty International Airport, as well as services, recreation, and entertainment in Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark. It is also a State of New Jersey Office of Emergency Management evacuation route. This project will make this evacuation route more effective. The North Bay Hudson County Extension Improvements Program will modernize the extension to improve its safety and sustainability, reduce traffic congestion and its harmful impacts, accommodate the current and future growth of the adjacent communities as well as the ports, and address the anticipated impacts of climate change. The program consists of 4 independent projects, which includes the replacement of the Vincent Robert Castiglione Bridge, known as the North Bay Bridge, with 2 twin cable-stay bridges and 28 other bridges that are at the end of their life and must be replaced. The first project is the reconstruction between interchange 14 in Newark to interchange 14A in Bayonne and Jersey City. This project, which includes 16 bridges and 9 ramps, is the highest priority due to the condition of the nearly 70-year-old bridges. You can see the 3 other projects to the east of interchange 14A in pink, yellow, and blue. Currently, we are wrapping up preliminary design phase. and we are now entering the final design phase for the first project, with construction scheduled to begin in 2026 with a 10-year construction duration. Due to the condition of the existing bridge, I'm pushing our team hard to have a new North Bay Bridge open to traffic in 2031. The schedule here shows the anticipated duration, inclusive of both design and construction, for the 3 other projects. These projects will each have their own environmental review process. In blue, you will see our second highest priority project, Columbus Drive to Jersey Ave. Remember, this project does not include any additional lanes for capacity. The earliest the design for this project will begin is 2025, with construction currently projected to begin in 2031. As I stated, this project will include stakeholder and community engagement, as well as its own environmental review process. Also, please keep in mind there will be bridge rehabilitation projects occurring as well to keep our bridges safe until the program improvements can replace the existing bridges. This includes an upcoming contract for end-of-life care of critical structures from interchange 14 to Jersey Ave, which is anticipated to begin this fall. We will continue to have public outreach throughout the life of this program. We are beginning outreach to the community, to you, 2 years before construction is scheduled to start, to keep you informed throughout the design and the construction process. We want to hear from you, and we appreciate those of you with concerns that have stayed. There is a lot of misinformation about the program, and I'd like to take an opportunity to address it directly. First, there will be no residential displacements for the entire 8.1 miles of this program. Second, the extension is not being widened up to the Holland Tunnel. I want to emphasize that no lanes will be added for additional capacity from interchange 14C to Jersey Avenue. I also want to emphasize that the traffic heading into the Holland Tunnel is not the cause of the projected increases in traffic along the extension. Origin destination data collected by an independent third party shows that nearly 80% of eastbound traffic, the final destination is Jersey City, Bayonne, or other parts of Hudson County. Next, the existing bridges cannot be rehabilitated. And we'll get into why more later in the presentation, but we wish they could be rehabilitated. We're dealing with significant structural and substructural issues. The entire extension has to be replaced. We've seen the tragedies that have occurred when we do not invest in our aging infrastructure, and we simply cannot and we will not take that risk. No city, county, state, or federal tax dollars are being used to fund this program. I just want to repeat that one more time because we continue to hear this. No city, county, state, or federal tax dollars are being utilized to fund this program. The Turnpike understands the need for and the importance of public transit and contributes on average $500 million a year, which is a historic level of funding to the state for public transit purposes. The Turnpike Authority is also committed to contributing up to $89 million annually to the Hudson Tunnel project, overseen by the Gateway Development Commission, which will provide long-term resiliency, reliability, and redundancy to hundreds of thousands of daily passengers who travel across the Hudson River through the construction of a new 2-track passenger rail tunnel. I'm going to take a moment to focus on our highest priority project, interchange 14 to 14A, including the replacement of the Vincent Robert Castellano Bridge, known as the North Bay Bridge. These bridges are not designed for the current weight of trucks headed to the ports. Additionally, the bridges and roadway are over capacity and cannot handle the current traffic demand. As you are all well aware of, there is constant maintenance and repair work leading to traffic backing up onto local streets. In fact, during the past 5 years, there has not been a single month without a lane or shoulder closure because of necessary maintenance and repairs. Additionally, in 2017, the North Bay Bridge was closed for 36 hours for emergency repairs due to a significant structural issue. This is not sustainable, and it is harmful to the communities around the extension. This modernization and safety program is a major investment in our economy and in our communities. As you can see, there are various program benefits, such as improved pedestrian safety, modern stormwater treatment systems, as well as detention basins. The first project, interchanges 14 to 14A, will alone create 25,000 jobs, according to the findings of the draft NEPA environmental assessment. We will work closely with Hudson County, Essex County, Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark, as well as with small business organizations to ensure local business owners and contractors are aware of and have access to the opportunities generated by this program. To minimize the impacts on the surrounding communities and the environment, we have planned a phased strategy to the bridge construction. I'd like to show you a short video now so you can visualize it. Here is the existing bridge, which will maintain open during construction as we build the northern bridge, the westerly cable stay structure. Upon its completion, all traffic will be shifted to that new structure and we will demolish the existing structure. We will then build a second cable stay structure for eastbound traffic in its place. It is true that this stage construction will take longer, will cost the authority more money, but it is something we are prioritizing to minimize the impacts on the communities and the environment while keeping you moving during construction. The North Bay Hudson County Extension Improvements Program will modernize the extension to improve its safety and sustainability, reduce traffic congestion, accommodate the current and future growth of the adjacent communities, as well as support and serve as a new gateway to Bayonne, Jersey City, and Newark. I would now like to introduce Dave Mikulak, professional engineer with about 15 years of experience on the North Bay Hudson County Extension, to discuss the existing bridge conditions.
Thank you, Lisa. So now I'd like to give you a little bit of background on the existing bridges on this corridor between interchange 14 and 14A. To start, I'd like to talk a little bit about the authority's bridge inspection and maintenance program. The authority performs inspection of its bridges every 2 years, and it utilizes the information gathered during these inspections to prioritize and make decisions on the bridges that are in greatest need of repair and replacement. This graph shows the typical life cycle of a structure on the extension, in this case, the North Bay Bridge. The authority spends and has spent a considerable amount of money over the years performing general maintenance and repairs on these structures to keep them safe for the traveling public and to prolong their life. But access to these structures is difficult, and it requires narrow work zones that present safety challenges on the roadway for roadway workers and the traveling public. So the authority does what it can to perform work that is most critical. But these structures will continue to age, and the deterioration will continue to accelerate, so this current maintenance plan is just not sustainable, and these structures are reaching the end of their service life. As previously mentioned, the bridges on the extension were designed and constructed in the 1950s. As such, they were designed using a now outdated design standard that was in place at the time. Today's design standard has been modernized to better account for the size, weight, and frequency of the trucks on the roadway today. In fact, some of the heaviest trucks found in the entire state of New Jersey are found in this corridor of the Hudson County Extension between interchange 14 and 14A. And the growth of the busy ports in Jersey City, Newark, and Bayonne means these trucks will only continue to get heavier and more frequent. And we've all seen in the news the bridge collapse in Baltimore due to a vessel collision. And we've all felt that earthquake right here in New Jersey. So it's becoming more and more important to design our bridges and construct our bridges to today's design standards. Now, these photos are not meant to alarm anybody. As we previously mentioned, the structures on the extension are safe. And the authority's bridge inspection and maintenance program will keep them that way. When critical issues are found, the authority moves quickly to address them, and we've all seen evidence of that with the ongoing work on the extension today. But these are photos that show actual conditions that were found on the Newark Bay Bridge. And while many of these have been addressed, issues like this will continue to pop up at an accelerated rate due to the advanced age of the structure. And this is not just isolated to the Newark Bay Bridge. The authority deals with issues and defects like this throughout this entire corridor. And here we see some examples of defects found on other bridges between interchange 14 and 14A. And on this slide, we see photos of deteriorated bridges east of 14A. And these are the types of defects that the authority is looking to address with their upcoming end-of-life care contract that Lisa mentioned earlier. And this contract aims at providing an additional 15 years of service life until such time that these structures can be replaced. I invite you to the back of the room to learn more about the existing bridges on the Hudson County Extension, and I'd now like to turn over to Larry Pozeski to talk about the environmental process for this program.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening. The draft environmental assessment for the interchanges 14 to 14A project was published in early May. You can find it here on the authority's website and at these local libraries. I encourage you to read it, submit your questions, submit your comments, and express your concerns. Draft EA was developed through frequent coordination with numerous local, state, and federal technical and regulatory specialists. Coordination with these agencies and with you will continue throughout the project's design and construction. It is important to note that from the get-go, we were mindful to find ways in planning the program to avoid, minimize, and mitigate environmental and community impacts. Visit me at the environmental station to learn more about these measures. The extension lies in an east-west transportation corridor that has been used to connect Hudson and Essex counties for over 130 years and to support the local and regional economy. The project will substantially reduce the traffic congestion in this corridor that now impacts your communities. Because the project lies within this long-established transportation corridor, there will be no impact on residences, no displacement of residences, no displacement of places of worship, no displacement of schools, and no impacts on your parks. Environmental justice is a principal focus of the draft environmental assessment. This is because we recognize that your communities are overburdened. The draft EA examines 15 different environmental justice measures. Included among these measures are criteria for compliance with the Federal Clean Air Act, the Federal Clean Water Act, and other environmental laws and regulations. By every one of these 15 measures, it was found in the draft environmental assessment that the project will not have an adverse impact on community quality of life or the environment. Finally, as Lisa noted, the project will generate many benefits for local residents and the businesses. Again, I invite you to read the draft EA, ask questions, submit comments, and express your concerns. And please visit us at the environmental station. I'd now like to hand the presentation over to Mike Morgan, who will walk you through the development of the preferred alternative.
Thank you, Larry. Good evening. I'd like to now share some of the background planning and design information that led to the proposed Project 1 improvements between interchanges 14 in Newark and 14A in Jersey City and the Newark Bay Bridge replacement. Again, major components of the Project 1 are replacing the 16 aging bridges, which account for about 80% of this 4-mile project stretch, building twin cable-stayed bridges for a new Newark Bay Bridge, providing 4 travel lanes in each direction between interchange 14 in Newark and 14A in Jersey City, improving ramps at those interchanges, addressing safety with standard shoulders along the outsides of the roadways, and finally, by meeting current environmental requirements, providing modern stormwater collection systems, including what we plan to use the former Marist site for, a stormwater management basin. The first step in planning improvements was to identify existing traffic operations. We counted traffic at the end of the COVID shutdown and looked at pre-COVID data in order to determine normal peak hour operating conditions. We found that traffic flows unstable, It's often congested and stop and go, and often bumper to bumper, because more vehicles use the extension than it was designed to handle. This congestion is only going to get worse as future traffic increases are projected. This is based on information from the Regional Transportation Model, which is a transportation planning tool designed and maintained by the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, which is accepted and used by transportation agencies and transportation planners in our region. The model was used to estimate volumes and travel patterns from projected population and employment growth due to new housing, retail, office, port, and warehouse construction, as well as the impacts of new highway and transit projects. The model was also used to estimate or evaluate induced demand, which is the number of vehicles or drivers that will be attracted to the extension because of proposed improvements. By year 2050, induced demand is projected to result in about 22% more volume on the extension with improvements than would be on the extension if no improvements were made. However, we recognize this induced demand is coming, it's going to happen, so the proposed design was developed to accommodate this increase in traffic so the extension traffic will flow freely and regular congestion will no longer occur. The improvements support the authority's responsibility and, frankly, the traveling public's expectations for better, more stable traffic flow and operations on the extension for all types of trips, whether they be long-range travel, short-distance commutes, port and Jersey City-related truck activity, traveling by the service providers such as Uber, Lyft, and New Jersey Transit, and finally, the doorstep package deliveries that we've come to expect from Amazon, UPS, and FedEx. With reduced congestion, the extension will be a more reliable travel route. Poor traffic conditions lead drivers, and frankly our GPS-based travel apps like Waze and Google Maps to avoid the extension because of the congestion, and they map out other routes that often use local roads. The project design will improve traffic flow on the extension, thus having positive benefits on Bayonne and Jersey City streets. The proposed four-lane roadways at and between interchanges 14 and 14A, Jersey City, will really improve traffic movements from the entrance ramps onto the main line extension. Shown here, this slide depicts the eastbound extension leaving interchange 14 in Newark, where backups regularly occur because there are 5 travel lanes that have to converge down into only 2 eastbound lanes. The proposed design will improve this area so that those 5 lanes will now be accommodated in 4 eastbound travel lanes. This feature provides lane balance to eliminate the need to merge, improves traffic flow, and it will decrease backups in that area. Similar improvements are proposed at interchange 14A in Jersey City, where it will be easier and quicker to get onto the extension and to travel westbound towards Newark. Right now, ramp TW coming out of the toll plaza is 2 lanes leaving that toll plaza, heading west. But those 2 traffic lanes must merge into 1 single lane, and that single lane then has to merge into the right lane of the westbound mainline extension. This is a big issue for many of you. It stops ramp traffic, it backs it back up to the toll plaza, and it slows westbound roadway traffic coming out of Jersey City. And that's the reason for that big yellow warning sign that indicates heavy merge ahead, stay left. Well, this is in a problem area that also drivers are trying to accelerate to get up and over the Newark Bay Bridge. It's a problem conflict area. We have good news. This project is going to improve that area. Ramp TW's 2 lanes are going to be extended and will continue in dedicated lanes onto the westbound extension. The ramp traffic won't have to merge. Drivers on the extension will no longer, drivers out of the extension coming out of Jersey City will no longer have to be backed up by that traffic. They will have 2 lanes and won't be slowed by the ramp traffic any longer. The improved 14A connection will provide lane balance, eliminate the need to merge that causes today's backups, and it will maintain free flow extension roadway conditions for drivers leaving Jersey City. I had many questions before, and you may be asking yourself, why not rehabilitate the bridge? Why replace the bridge? And those are fair questions. Rehabilitating the bridge and the structures between interchange 14 and 14A doesn't solve the problems that motorists or the authority are having and will continue to have with the extension. Future travel demand and stable traffic flow can't be guaranteed or it can't be achieved unless additional lanes are provided, and rehabilitation won't add those lanes. Rehabilitation won't allow adding full shoulders that improve roadway safety. Even if the authority could just rehabilitate the bridge and the roadways, extensive maintenance, ongoing extensive maintenance would still be necessary, meaning continued, frequent, slow going and delays from lane closures and traffic shifts. Rehabilitation will not also allow the authority to extend the Newark Bay Bridge's service life to the industry standard 100 to 150 year target. There have been significant advances in design standards, earthquake resistance, protecting piers from vessel impacts, construction materials, and roadside safety features that all have proven to make structures more resilient, improve safety, and reduce crash risks. Only a new Newark Bay Bridge and an improved Newark Bay Hudson County Extension roadway can meet these current standards. We really believe that the proposed improvements between interchange 14 and 14A in Jersey City and a new New York Bay cable stay bridge with earthquake-resistant design and vessel protection features are the right solutions for this corridor. I look forward to talking with you at the stations after we're done here if you have any questions or comments for me. And I now turn the podium back over to Tara, who's going to speak about some additional community opportunities.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you to all of the presenters. The New Jersey, as I mentioned earlier, the New Jersey Turnpike Authority is committed to ensuring that the communities local to the program area benefit from the economic opportunities generated by the first project, of which there are many. This commitment is evident all around this room, with so many local vendors having contributed to tonight. And I want to acknowledge all of them, and I encourage you to use their services. First, the very high quality poster boards that you see and the information centers were all created by Royal Printing Service, a union printer in Hudson County. And Fast Signs, a local minority-owned business in the program area. The AV equipment was provided by City View, which is based in Hudson County, and our photography team, Ryer Mar Photography, are also in the program area and a minority-owned business. Last but certainly not least, other printing services were provided right here in Jersey City by RB's Rubber Stamps. So this was all intentional because we wanted to let you know we start now that the possibilities are endless once the project gets under full swing. There's going to be so many job opportunities, so many small business opportunities, and we're going to make sure that you take advantage of them and that you are prioritized for those opportunities. Now, okay, yeah, I'll take it, I'll take it. I got protested earlier, so bring it on, come on, clap. In all seriousness, though, we also want to keep everyone informed. The program, as I mentioned, I've said this 12,000 times, but we have a dedicated website for the people who are concerned, who want to voice concerns. You can do it one-on-one, as I mentioned, but you can also go to our website if you so choose. You want to read through it. Everything is on there, the EA, the EIS. There are two environmental review processes that this underwent. So you can learn all of that from the program website. Additionally, the program team and subject matter experts will be here till 8:30 p.m. I'm just repeating that because someone texted me asking how long they would be here. So they will be here till 8:30 p.m. in case I know some people want to have some more people come over and wanted to know if it was too late. So to the people who were texting me, 8:30 p.m. And again, they're going to be all around this room. So thank you again, everyone, for those people who called for respect, because that's what we want. And thank you for the people who stayed to listen. And I hope that you will engage meaningfully afterwards. Now back to Lisa.
Thank you, Tara. Before we end, I'd like to take a moment to do a safety moment, just like our contractors, many of which are here tonight, do every morning before they start work. Today's safety moment focuses on work zone safety. Just like it's the authority's responsibility to make sure you get home safe, we also need to make sure our contractors and our employees get home safe. And that's where we need your help. It takes all of us together to maintain safe work zones. Follow signage, reducing your speed, staying off your cell phones, and being informed of upcoming construction will make our roadways safer. I can't say it enough, please do not text and drive. Thank you again for taking the time to be here tonight, for learning more about this urgently needed program. I encourage you to speak with me and our program team around the room. That's why we are here. We appreciate your feedback, and we want you to know that we do hear you. We appreciate you staying for those that do have concerns, and please come talk to us. The Turnpike Authority has conducted public information centers in Newark, Bayonne, and Jersey City to ensure accessibility and inclusion. We also have a virtual public information center on our website for those who can't make it out in person. Thank you so much.